Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the problem with brand loyalty, especially when it comes to headphone brands, because I feel like some people in the audiophile community just don't want to admit it, but a lot of them, or not a lot of them, I mean some of them probably are loyal to at least one or two brands that they really like, and honestly I don't find that big of an issue, because if you just like a brand for simply making stuff that you like, I think that's generally okay, especially if you genuinely think they make quality stuff most of the time. The problem I have with brand loyalty is when it comes to then hating on other brands for just being different from the brand that you like, or just straight up not admitting when the brand that you like makes a bad product. I think that is when brand loyalty goes way too far. Of course, I think it's decently okay if you just like their stuff and you just continue to buy it. You can just do what you want with your own money. But again, when you then decide to put down other headphone manufacturers, especially like small ones, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, but just because they make a different sound from you doesn't automatically mean it's a bad headphone. A big example of this, which kind of ties in to the last video I made talking about headphone reviews, which, by the way, I will probably delete because it's pretty asinine and pretty redundant at this point, but especially because I'm mentioning it again. But a big example of this is a reviewer who reviewed the HD505 recently and made multiple videos and made an entire review without even having the fucking headphone. And that's just a general review thing. Don't do that, like, at all. What's the point of making a review of something if you do not have the product in hand? I mean, hell, say what you want about my reviews. At least try to give some detailed explanation on what I think. Most of the time, yes, it is the same as the first impressions, but can you really blame me? And also, like, at least I have the fucking product. Again, this dude that I'm talking about, I won't name specific names, but yeah, he just straight up does not have the product in hand, and yet he's reviewing it. I get he's trying to be like sort of objective, but you can't do that in a review. The point of a review is to be subjective, is to give your own personal thoughts on something, because a graph does not tell the entire story. I fucking hate audiophiles that only judge a headphone only based on graphs, and that's their only metric into how good or bad a headphone is. No, there's so many other factors like soundstage, details, there's just comfort, like fucking build quality, so many other factors into what makes a headphone good rather than just this tonality and the sound profile. Like, that is very important, and I would argue it is the most important thing, but again, it's subjective because everybody's ears are different. So just basing your fucking argument and review on just a measurement rig that's most likely definitely not like one-to-one accurate with what human ears think, or not think, I mean hear, what am I talking about? Because everybody's ears are different. Again, it's a really stupid thing to just make a review on objective graphs, like just saying, oh, this is enough for a review. No, it's not. Just have the fucking thing in hand and just give your thoughts on it. That's the point of a review. Like, that's why people come to reviews. But besides that, not only was he just reviewing something he didn't even have and just only basing it off of graphs, he also was just shamelessly shilling Beyerdynamic, which again, I think is fine if you like Beyerdynamic. A lot of people really do. A lot of people love that bright, energetic sound that they offer. Personally, I think it would maybe be a little bit too sharp for me, even though I do like bright headphones. But again, I think it's fine if you like Beyerdynamic. I'm not saying it's bad that you like Beyerdynamic. I'm saying it's bad that you then decide to just hate on Sennheiser for basically no reason. It seems like this guy kind of only does that. He just basically only reviews Sennheiser headphones and just compares them to Beyerdynamic headphones and saying how much Beyerdynamic is way better. Their headphones are way better. Like, that is a really unfair bias in comparison. Like, it is really obviously bias that is just clouding his judgment, and just, again, like, really just it becomes a useless review at that point, because again, you don't even have the product, but not only that, you're just kind of hating on it without even having the fucking thing. And just because, you like a sound profile doesn't mean other people will like that as well. I mean, I'm not saying you have to confine to everybody's like general opinion. I think that's really dumb as well. But like again, I think it's just really stupid to say that, oh yeah, Beyerdynamic is just better. No. A lot of people would very, very adamantly disagree with you because a lot of their headphones have really, really high treble peaks. And again, I think it would be too much for me even. So a lot of people will think even more of that. Even think like, it's so fucking bright that they can't hear anything. I mean, I think a lot of people said like the DT 1990, or not the 1990. I mean, that does have a pretty big treble peak, but the 990, the regular 990, yeah, I've heard that's basically unlistenable by a lot of people because of that treble boost, because it's way too goddamn much for listening to music. I'm sorry I keep stumbling over my own words. I know it may sound like I'm like illiterate or something, but I promise you, I just am recording this in like one take. I don't have a fucking script, so that's why I'm just stumbling over my own words. I'm sorry I'm struggling to fucking make sentences, but again, you kind of get my point. Just, again, don't review a product you do not have, because what the fuck is the point? Second, don't shill brands, especially out in the open like this guy's doing. I think it's fine to just like a brand's product and compare it to another brand, but again, when you then put down another brand just because they're not like and don't have the same sound signature as the brand that you already like, what the fuck is the point? Like, why compare it at all in the first place? Like, it's dumb. Try, when you're making comparisons, you want to be sort of objective when it comes to that. You don't want to be biased towards a particular brand because you want to fucking compare them accurately and fairly. I mean, like, just a fair comparison. So if you have bias in that mix, that completely throws out objectivity and fairness in your comparison. It's dumb. So again, I know I keep saying, oh, it's dumb, it's stupid, but because I shouldn't need to explain why it's dumb and dumb and stupid and fucking stupid and dumb. Like, it is just a bad decision to make a video like that. It is just not smart at all. Like, don't even make a video at that point. Like, at least in my unedited videos where I just ramble for 10 minutes like this video, at the very least, I am giving my own thoughts on something, and when I don't have a product in hand, but I want to give my thoughts on something, I call it my thoughts on blank. I don't say it's a review or a first impressions, because again, that's not what first impressions or reviews are. You should have the fucking product before you make first impressions and reviews. Don't fucking base it on online fucking graphs or other people's opinions. It's based on your own subjective opinion. That's the point. That's why people come to your video, to fucking see your own opinion, because they're interested in the fucking thing. Like, again, I am just baffled that so many people, especially just YouTube reviewers that are just, especially like not that popular ones, just apparently don't know what reviews or first impression videos are. Like, this is like the basis of reviews and first impressions. And yet, so many reviewers and first impression videos are just people rambling and rambling when they don't even have the fucking product. Like, what is the point? But besides that, that is basically it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.